Artemis astronauts will fulfill a different mission in a unique environment. While the Apollo astronauts who visited the moon's surface between 1969 and 1970 temperatures in the solar system inside these craters, which have become known as perfect environments for preserving water for eons.
Over time, there's individual molecules of water and carbon dioxide and other gases that actually bounce around the surface of the moon. And when they get to one of these cold spots, they actually get stuck. So we call those places cold traps. And if you do that for millions and even billions of years, you can actually build up a pretty significant deposit of water and other ices.
From an exploration perspective, if we can understand just how much water there is and where it is and how to get it out of the regolith of the moon, we can turn it into really important things like drinking water for astronauts and even rocket fuel to take them back home. So really understanding these resources and how to use them is one of the objectives of the Artemis program, and it's what makes the south pole of the moon so exciting.
We know the moon in incredible detail, thanks in large part to NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, or LRO. LRO has been circling the moon since 2009. It's the longest-lived spacecraft there. Through tens of thousands of orbits and data from 7 instruments, LRO has mapped the moon's temperature, geology, radiation environment, and is providing insight on how the moon is changing over time. LRO is led by Dr. Noah Petro, a planetary geologist at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center.
LRO is this incredible mission. It was launched in 2009 as the opportunity to go back to the moon, to create this three-dimensional, high-resolution, high-definition atlas of the moon. Where are there safe landing sites for human and robotic explorers? So what LRO is doing is really giving us the tools, the material, the data we need to make those missions successful.
For many years, LRO's elliptical orbit was closest to the moon during the spacecraft's pass over the South Pole. So scientists have more information about the South Pole region than any other region of the moon.
We know that we can do more and build upon the legacy of Apollo, but to do that we needed a higher resolution data set. We wanted to know where the hazards were. We wanted to know where the geologic features were that we want to go explore, and so LRO has created that database.
kind of end goal. This is an important step that for us to take. And then also just kind of from a human aspect, we all have this kind of intrinsic desire to explore. I think it's in all of us and certainly in us as a society. And so I think setting our sights on something and accomplishing this goal together is really important just for international relations, for, just coming together as a humankind, the human spirit. I think that's a piece of what we're doing that we can't ignore as well.
I have 3 kids, aged 10, 6, and 2. I talk about space often with them. The great thing that my parents did for me was let me find my path. I also look at my daughter, and I think, okay, Amelia, she keeps saying she wants to be a firefighter, a construction worker, and an astronaut. And I say, well, Amelia, you can do all 3 and be an astronaut. Well, when you're an astronaut, you got to learn how to fight a fire in space. You got to learn how to build stuff. So you got to do all those things. What they'll become, I'm so excited to find out. I have no idea what they're gonna end up gravitating towards.
So why is the moon my favorite body to study? I think growing up, you could always see it in the sky. You could see some beautiful stars and maybe Mars or Jupiter as like small little dots, but the moon is just there in all its glory. It's like our nearest and dearest neighbor, and you can even with the naked eye, you could start picking out features on the moon. I think that was really cool. This is thousands of miles away, and you can still kind of be a geologist from the ground if you want to, and I think that's really cool, and that's why I always wanted to study the moon. Just seeing people walk on the moon, on this foreign planetary body, looking at images like the one behind me here, I think that always blows my mind.
I will say with my 2-year-old, what I have noticed recently, and this is wonderful, is that when he sees the moon, we're out for a walk, we're driving around or outside a window, we'll go, moon, moon. And it's just the fact that he can look up and see and go, oh, moon, moon. That makes me so happy.